kids, how's it going? Welcome back to the stream. Thanks for joining. Take a listen to the template I'm putting together so far, sounding like this. I've got to enable the chat box. Give me a sec. So that sound that we're hearing there, that's called a type of fold-back distortion. Hey, Retro Plays, what's cooking? Are you there? Let me just load up the stream chat. Welcome back, yay! It should pop up now. There we go. Cool, Retro Players, nice to see you right off the bat. Here you are. So we're listening to this bass line, which I've emulated from the original Massive bass line. It sounds quite different, obviously, but the idea is not to get it perfect, just to get it sounding good enough. And then creating a palette of these sounds which are suitable for cyberpunk music composition. And that's what we're doing today. So I'm quite satisfied with this one. This bank is called Creek Bank. And I'm going to move on to the next item for today, which is doing the same thing, reverse engineering massive patches for use in cyberpunk music. So let's get on with that, shall we? Retro Players, what's cooking? How are you doing today, bro? I watched that video that you made. How did you animate all that stuff? Was it, what program do you use to do your animations? Okay. Alright, let's get on with it. So while I'm waiting for an answer from Retro Plays, aka RP, going forward, I used a game called Gary's Mod. Okay, cool. That's the name of the game. Cool. Yeah, it's pretty rad. I like that style of animation. Just going to move that up so I can see what you're saying. All right, cool. So it's actually a game. It wasn't you animating all that stuff. You used sequences from the game. I get it. Cool. Yeah, that's how you do it, man. Remix stuff. Make it your own. Okay. So we've got two bass patches here. One of them is called Crayon. I'm just going to get out the way. One's called Crayon, one's called Creek Bank. Those are the bass patches. And let's take a listen to first Creek Bank in the key of F minor. And here's Crayon. A bit more subtle. We can always tweak the levels. Cool. And here are the two harmony patches. By harmony, I mean like a polysynth. Sorry, here. Dark. This one's called Dark and Fragile, and here's Cyber Goat. I don't think it works so well in the low end, but that kind of sound, very cyberpunk, very futuristic, kind of ugly and dirty, which is great. Alright, so now we've got one of these patches so far is a melody patch, and we need to make another melody patch now. It sounds like this. We're going to be using that throughout the scoring of the Cyberpunk album, but for now let's get over to the next item, which is patches. I've got a spreadsheet of patches that I'm basically trying to emulate. They're mostly massive patches for this project because Massive is really good with Cyberpunk and that dark synthwave sound. So I had this lead over here called Trance Time, which I already emulated, and we've got another one here called Crystal Vachet, or Vache, I think, Crystal Vache. So first thing I'm going to do is head over to Massive and find Crystal Vache, and then we're going to duplicate one thing at a time. Cool. Trance Time is there, and let's get over to Crystal Vache. Right, there it is, and let's just listen to how that sounds first, off the shelf, no tweaking. This is Crystal Vache. You can hear it's a little bit glitchy. I like it. It's got the right vibe. And we now, in order to get that sound, we first have to duplicate this existing chain, Trance Time, and then we're going to replace out the instrument in the duplicated chain, which is currently called Squares, with a wavetable synth, which is an identical synth to this one, and we're going to try basically and sound and capture the same sound. So I'm going to play it continuously while scrolling, and we should then get something that's close-ish. which we can use to emulate that. So are you working on anything else right now, RP? Are you doing any other like follow-up videos, or are you building a channel, or what is the game there? Are you just kind of messing around with it, having some fun with it? Episode 2 coming. All right, that sounds cool. Nice. All right. Yeah, so the goal with these patches that I'm trying to put together now is that it is portable. In other words, anyone with a copy of Ableton can open them because they're native Ableton devices. They're not third-party VSTs. In fact, all of my recent releases and all of the releases I make going forward are going to be portable. No missing samples, no missing VSTs, so that it really democratizes, Ableton for those who are kind of still in the process of learning. Maybe I want people to have access to these things without having to, purchase expensive synths and software and stuff. That's the goal. Sorry if it sounds like nothing's happening. I'm actually just listening to stuff in the background that I'm using as the reference track to emulate. So I'm basically just working on it. That's not a bad start. We're going to try that. Calibrated solo. Right, here's what I found. This patch. There we go. That's pretty close, huh? It's an octave higher, but other than that, let's just get a pitch and we can drop it down here. That's not a bad starting point. Let's try it out. Let's see if we can get it more one of them's got a lot more reverb, of course. That's the main difference that I can hear so far. What we should also do at some point is take a look at these sends for this channel and just beef them up a little bit. Yeah, it's actually hard to tell what Massive is doing without the reverb and the effects, and you kind of need to know that in order to reproduce a track, because often reverb makes it sound much better, and then yeah, let's do that right now. What I'm going to do is open up the sends that I created, and we should have a reverb track here. I'm going to call this one, we don't actually need any feedback. Yeah, there we go. So now we're sending this new melody track to this echo, and we should have 0 feedback and also quite a lot of reverb. I don't think this might not be the right reverb though. Let's go to hybrid and get that patch instead of echo. So I'm replacing out send number 1 here, and I am sending the melody patch to it. Let's turn that off. Pro tip, you can use the number 0 to turn off an Ableton device. You can also use the arrow keys to pack them away. So if you want, can you? Was it page down? One of them is Paxton keyboard shortcut. Okay, let's try this out again. There, we've definitely got a lot more reverb on it now, which is nice. So here's our A. Okay, we're still sending a signal which is an octave too high. I see what's happened. I have accidentally changed the melody. I see. This has also got 2 octaves. Alright, let's go. That's a good start. We've got a little bit of reverb on it, which is nice. 100%. Cool. Let's A-B it again. Okay, we've still got a problem with the pitch, so I'm just going to go ahead and do. It's got almost a razor blade sound to it, so I don't know if that is the right patch. Let's keep on looking. I'm going to keep on looking right up at the top here under synth lead, and the one we were going past now was called calibrated solo. Okay, so let's get over to calibrated solo under synth leads and swap it out with something. Cool. Moving forward, here we go. It's down the list. Dual asks and bright lead looks. No, I've gone and lost the. Damn, lost the thing I was looking for. Let's get away from calibrated solo. Or maybe we could just mess with these settings a bit just to give it some drive, perhaps. Let's give it a little bit of drive. No, it's the wrong original waveform. So let's change that out a little bit, see what happens there. Yeah, I see there. That's cool. It's got multiple oscillators working on it. This is a straightforward oscillator, which I want to actually influence a little bit more. So I'm going to take the oscillator LFO. Let's go over to the routing matrix here and say 0 LFOs and hear how that sounds. Still going. It's this one here, and it's still going. We've got LFOs coming out the wazoo here. No, sorry, matrix. There we go. Okay, that's not it. MIDI. Oh, it's the auto filter at the end of the chain. Right, I get it. Cool. The auto filter at the end of the chain was actually intended to be on only this track here, the first one. So we create more complex sounds by, just adding devices in the right place. Okay, cool. So we're making progress here, kids. Now that's right. It sounds horrible, but it's actually right. That's what I was aiming for. Now we've got to get a new instance of calibrated solo in here just to. Cool. That's A. That's B. It's an octave high. Let's take it down. Okay, still an octave high. Not sounding great. That's got some nice LFO action on it, so just trying to get some sounds that work when you hold down a key. And especially for these, this is a lead instrument, so it has to be it has to work in the higher register. Okay, but I think I'm fine with that for now. The main thing is to get on with the actual, just keep it moving forward, basically. So that's that's one of them. That's a more straightforward one. We're going to call that the reference patch for that one was Crystal Vache, so let's call it that. Oops. I don't know what a Vache is, but only thing I don't like about this is the way it does. It kind of just persists like this. I want it to maybe go a little bit. LFO 1 and 2. One of them's got to be a bit faster, basically, so that it continues to, give some life, even though you're holding down a key. just have to zoom in a little bit here, kids. I know this is quite monotonous. I'm sorry about that. Let's just keep on focusing here. I'm gonna. Okay, let's keep it moving forward. I don't want to get stuck too long on one thing. So that's good. We've got 2 basses, 2 harmony patches, 2 melodic patches. Next up is really just to listen to the actual original tracks and see if I can find specific sounds to continue to emulate. Now you can't hear this, but what I'm doing is I'm playing the actual Cyberpunk 2077 game soundtrack in the background here. You can't hear it because I don't want to get flagged on YouTube for copyright, but what I'm looking for is idiosyncratic sounds that sound very like they stand out, they've got their own identity, and also just listening in general for techniques. So like I know dark synthwave, this type of stuff has got a lot of emphasis on reverb and digital like foldback distortion, but really the piece that I need to focus on making is, okay, I don't know what this one's called, but it's got a Chinese sound, so I'm just going to call it Chinese, or maybe Eastern is better. Okay, and then let's get on to the next one. We're going to duplicate Eastern and play it back here so I can get a next reference track. Okay, so metal is also an influence here. Okay. Okay, and I think what we must do is actually just space it out a little bit. In other words, I don't need a big mega project that has access to all of the different sounds for each of the different tracks, because I release them separately in different Ableton Live projects. So I'm going to actually call it, for now, we can delete these original massive tracks and start to actually put out some of the actual arrangements, some of the sequence. So here's what we got so far. That's not the right bass, but anyway. Okay, what we got to do is find samples, and I think Straylight is a good place to do it. Retro Plays, would you mind linking where I can get the 90s living kick stingers? I couldn't find them anywhere. Okay, cool. I happen to know that. It is gum.co/VAE. I think that's it. Let me just test it real quick. They are in this folder over here. That's the link I'm sending you to. It's this project over here, and then you see there are I think you get the stingers for $5. Let me just check that out. Yeah, while I've got you here, let me just check this out. So if I edit this product, you're going to see the content itself, stingers, which is, it's included in the everything pack. And let's do it the other way around. Go to the product and go to the tiers of the product. The everything pack, you get all that stuff, and then we might as well turn that off. So I'm just looking for the answer to your question here. The stingers are available in Yeah, the everything pack and the short bonus stingers pack. So if you go ahead and if you get this middle tier, the one that's $5, then you'll get access to the stingers. Let's just go back to the so here's the link. I'll send it to the chat. You'll find this product over there, and you can just get the $5 pack, and you should have access to it. Yeah, this one over here. Just click over there, and then you say, I want this. Give me $5 or more if you want, and then you'll be able to download the stingers for Living Kicks and all the other ones. The stingers are really good for storytelling because they let you like set up a scene, you know, like that. Now everybody knows, oh, it's a sitcom, you know, that's a good way to get their attention. Okay, cool. And then second scene. No, it's the wrong sound. That's much better. Okay. So this is just a bit loud, but that's fine. So already I'm starting to clip out. This project's going to get huge. It might have to do with the audio rendering, but the fact that I'm live streaming. But yeah, so let's not bloat this up too much more, and let's just start with this idea of I want to now create track 1. So what I do is I actually save this not as Cyberpunk, but I save this as track 1. So I make a copy of this. Let's do that, and save live set as Cyberpunk track. I'm just going to actually save myself a bit of typing this time around. I'm going to call it 01. Yeah, that's fine. Now it should have access to all of the files in this folder, so there's nothing missing. And then we can get on with the actual fun stuff, which is composition. So this track, I've come a little ways with making it already. We've got an arrangement, and we've got, you know, sounds. So let's get on with the missing elements of this track. I'm going to give this Cyberpunk soundtrack a listen once more and try and find a suitable track which sounds similar to it, and then give that a listen. It's a little bit vibey. It's got a beat. It's got some groove to it, so it's suitable more for an action sequence or a chase sequence or something. I'm just going to try and find the suitable reference track for it. A lot of these tracks have got a dubstep beat, so it's like halftime. I love this stuff. Okay. I'm determined to do more reference track work this time around. I have a problem. I try to do things too creatively, whereas what I need to actually do is imitate more, because then you're really serving the community. People who want the cyberpunk sound, you get it when people like me show up to emulate, basically. A lot of atmospheric stuff here. You can't hear it because I'm just got it in the background, but and another thing I've noticed about soundtrack music like this is it's super subdued. By subdued, I mean like really low frequency, like a lot of high stuff has been rolled off production-wise. There's some strings in there, I like that. Okay, just seeking out the most appropriate reference track for this. I'll be done with this in a sec, and I'll be back to the composition. Can I actually just MIDI? No, I can't. I can actually. I can MIDI control the start point. A lot of dubstep, a lot of metal. And metal and dubstep have quite a bit of overlap, actually, and musically speaking. They're both, they're both kind of rooted in male aggression. I know that sounds gendered and whatever, but there's a lot of overlap. And I'm not the one who said that. Originally, it was James Blake with his take on dubstep. which is a far more poetic sound than Skrillex. And that one's got vocals. Just to confirm, RP says, I don't want to buy the wrong thing. I have to buy the 90s TV sitcom theme, intro music, sound alike, quantity, variant, 10 tracks, and short bonus stingers. That is correct, yes. And don't worry, man, I got your back. Like, I'm not going to screw you. If you pay for it and you don't get what you want, then I'll make sure that you do, you know, get the stingers. And I'm not like... I'm in complete control of the purchasing and the consumer experience. So you're literally talking to the creator and the support team and everything in one. No worries. Did it work out? This is magic, man. I'm just doing a live stream. Some guys buying my stuff. Fucking cool, man. Thanks very much. Okay, I think I might have found a reference track. Okay, let's try it out. So now we've got what we get with a lot of these tracks is this. Got an so let's keep it on A minor. I'm gonna now tweak this. Let's take it down an octave. Down an octave, play it on the big keyboard here. You get that kind of effect. So let's try that out. Something else. I don't think this is going to sound very good, but let's... Cool, that doesn't sound too bad. Maybe what we can do is... Alright, let's just think ahead. So now what we got to do is this. First things first, let's get the low drone. Question about the pack, how much does it translate to euros? RP said, well, $5 is less than €5. It's probably about 3, I think. Just check it out, just search for the conversion. Okay, this is what we're definitely doing now. So I've got my left hand on the pitch bend wheel, which you can't really see, unfortunately. It's right in the corner here. Oh, you can move this whole thing over. Great. Let's just shuffle that guy to town. Okay, so my left hand over here is on the pitch bend wheel, and what we should see when I do a little tweak like that. Let's try and record it. So now you should see there's a little bit of a bump there. I'm going to do it again. Just to give that slight unsettledness. Okay, now we've got that on the bass line. That means I just need to make sure that all the other bass lines which share that particular technique are copied over. That's cool. I like that. And I also like this melody in the background being very kind of subtle. So let's keep that like that, and now what happens when we progress. Oh, that's the wrong harmony sound. Let's get the right one. That's the one we want. And Cybergoat itself is sounding pretty loud, so we'll take that down. We'll keep this melody patch going, but just make it really much more subtle. So this is what we're going for now. This time around, I'm going to do this as subtly as possible. I'm doing a little bit of production here with this patch. I want it to be, before the delay, I want it to be, and I've done it with the wrong one again. I've got to just get over to Crystal Vache and paste the audio effect auto pan after that. I think delay might do the job if we just change it to a ping pong delay. That's kind of what I'm after, is that. That's kind of what I'm after, yeah. Now I do have two subs going here. One of them is octave high. That's better, actually. I don't want that low sub. That's better, yeah. Cool, so there's the sound we're going for. It's a little bit digital, which is nice. It's the right sound. Cool. This is without texture. So this is the climax 1 of the track. Then we go to a dropout like this. I'm gonna just keep it on that. And then we drop out completely. That's it, yeah. We're gonna use just harmony 1 and harmony. So there we go. This is the second arrangement. This is actually a bit too harmonic and emotional. That sounds weird, but underscore score music, you don't really want it to get in the way of the action or dialogue or anything. This is more like a theme. So I'm going to avoid writing this kind of thematic stuff and lean more on the sound design side of it for this chapter of my production journey. If you're new to the stream or you don't know what's going on, this is a Ableton work stream where I'm putting together packs of self-contained templates for use in games and videos. I release music tracks freely as Creative Commons tracks, which means you can download them from a number of sources. Just check the links in the description. But the actual templates themselves are editable and they're self-contained, meaning that you don't actually have to have the same VSTs and plugins as I do in order to get them to sound cool and make them, instantly openable without any missing samples or anything. So it's a really good place to start if you're new to Ableton and you want to get into production, but you don't know how to set things up. This is a really cool place for you. So yeah, hit sub if you're interested in this type of stuff, and you can also join as a patron, free or paid. Paid patrons get access to the entire library of these royalty-free public domain templates or whatever, but I lock them behind a paywall because it's really good work. It's high quality stuff, and so $6 a month currently will get you there. And you can also make a once-off donation or a once-off purchase through the shop. I've got shops on Patreon, and I recently joined Ko-Fi, which is cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what the results are there. And if you're just here for a bit of free music for your video, you can also check out Free Music Archive, where most of my stuff is, and literally you can just one-click download the MP3 and that'll be available to you just in exchange for credit. Cool. Nice hat. This hat. Thanks. I actually got this. I kind of like pilfered this. I didn't steal it, but I took it. I took it as part of a box of stuff, and we'd been given permission to have, some friends of ours were moving house. They were like, take what you want, but I didn't explicitly ask them if I could have this cap, but it was in a box with other stuff that they were giving away. I don't think they really care. I mean, they literally gave us a piano. They're like quite wealthy people. They gave us a piano when they immigrated. I'm like, okay, I don't think you're going to care about your Adidas cap if you just gave us a piano. Yeah, I wear it because, it kind of looks a bit cool. There's no rain in here and no sun in here. Cool. This track's nice, I like it. And then let's figure out what we're gonna do next. It doesn't have to be a complete arrangement. Like, I've put a lot of my music online that's not like complete finished arrangement. But what I do need is a reference track. I need a place to compare this to. So we're gonna compare it to this one over here. I'm gonna get rid of all of this stuff. I've done the wrong thing in just duplicating. Okay, what we need now is more rhythm. We need rhythm that is rolling. Oh, that's cool. What am I doing here? Excuse me. Where's my rhythm? Let's find it. There we go, that one there. Okay, so I've got a drum kit over here. Let me just get out the way. So you can see how I've got a lot of, I've got two drum racks in here. This is like the main one, and this is the secondary. And I'm going to use them both. It's against my sort of principle or whatever, but I'm going to use them. I'm going to break my own rules, because that's how you make good music. And I'm going to have a second kick running alongside this rhythm. Now, all I want to do now is focus on rhythm. So let's focus on rhythm. That's too early. Let's go. Mover. That's what I'm going for. Just a little additional rhythmic patch like that. I think a lot of this, project is going to come down to rhythm. Now, what I want to do next is just to roll off a little bit of the highs there. That's what it's just a pulse. Cool. And that clap can also get some more reverb on it, but for now we'll just leave it. Alright, let's find some more interesting samples for this secondary drum rack, which I'm going to be using in combination with the main one. Here's this track so far. We're making dark synthwave, aka Cyberpunk music, and in a couple of weeks when I'm done with this whole project, I'll be releasing the templates as part of my Patreon offering, and I'll be releasing the tracks for free use in your videos and games. So if that sounds good, you know where to subscribe. Also check out the link to the free stuff in the description of the channel. There's some stuff down there you can get started on. I've done some reverse engineering of like Aphex Twin and Ghostbusters and some well-known tracks. Someone a while ago asked me to redo what is it? Never Gonna Give You Up, which I think would be like, you know, a real internet flex. So I might actually do that once I'm done with this project. Cool. Let's get on with the the sourcing of good quality. What I can do now is actually use the texture. Sorry, I interrupted my thought there, but use the texture channel as a source. Yes, this is what I'm going for. So all this texture stuff, I'm going to lean more on it. One thing I don't like about this is how it's it requires you to, all of these things have a problem in that they require you to sorry, I'm just thinking here. They all have an envelope which just runs them forever, if that makes sense. Okay, here we go, octave. Let's take this texture and just cut it up a little bit. How about that? Let's just get that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I'm gonna have to. I'm just gonna record this little sample. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. That's good. Stops. Let's do it again there. Now it should play back. 2, 3, 4. Now. Yeah, a little bit of it's pain, it's angst. It works well. Okay, great. I'm happy with that. So this texture is now filling the role of a little bit of a rhythmic instrument. Good. Let's save that. Cool. RP, how you doing over there? You winning? Did you get your things? Did you find out what you're looking for? And let's take that texture down in volume a little bit. Cool. Sounds great. You got it. Sweet. Glad to hear it, man. Yeah, see, there's a second layer there. That's beautiful. It just brings it out nicely. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to listen to my reference track and just make sure I'm on the right track here. Top left, huh? No, it's not in there. Cool. It's a very busy rhythm. This rhythm isn't busy enough. I need to make more work out of the rhythm stuff. Okay. It's almost like a tick 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 sound. Wonder if it's going to be if there's anything in my sounds. This ice water sample might work. Let's try that. I sloshed some ice water around in a bucket, in a water bottle, and I've used it in a bunch of tracks over time. But let's just hear how it sounds in this. I'm going to just take it up to -6, and we'll just play that here. Find a nice section of it. I'm going to loop it, so there's a way to do this. I think you switch over to classic and you are able to loop. I've done this so many times, but it's been a while since I last did it. Voices can be one, we don't need stereo stuff, and we want to loop it for sure. Where's my loop start? Slice, loop. Cool, that's it. That's kind of what we're going for. Okay, so what I've got here is a sample of some ice water being sloshed around in a water bottle, and I have just starting to use it like that. Now let's take the decay and the sustain down. So now we should have more control over it. Yeah, okay, let's just get the sound right. That's kind of the sound I'm going for, but now it needs to be synchronized to the beat. So let's try that. I'm just going to solo out the beat so that I can hear only the drums. And I want to hear, oops, this, and then solo this out, play this. Excuse me. Oh no, I didn't want to solo that out. I wanted to solo out the one next to it. So that's this one over here. And then we want to play this one. That's it. But now it needs to be timed to the beat. Now, what if there's a way to snap? That sounds right. Good. Let's just do one like that. That's it. And I'm going to duplicate this entire thing so that it's one continuous clip being triggered over 4 bars instead of every bar. That's it. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for. This is great. I got it. It sounds like what it is, a sample being triggered. But not quite in time, but still sustain value can stay high. That's quite a nice sound, isn't it? It's just got to be a little bit lower, so let's take it down. That sounds tense. Let's give it some, It does need to synchronize though. I haven't quite got the synchronizing right, so let's get that right. It is a nice tool for just general turn off snap, we should be able to get right on the tempo. You can also warp it, yeah. And if I can set one on there. Zoom in on marker. No, that's not what I wanted to do. So this is going to be sounding a bit hectic now. Let's just do this. Okay. Sounds about right. That sounds nice. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Also do this, which is interesting. Okay, so using this envelope mode is gonna just play the first ones, basically. It's gonna just play the I'm having trouble keeping it in time, and I think it's because I'm trying to do it too manually. Like this, divide it in two. Let's take it back. That's quite nice. It's actually nice for the break. Let's do it. There, just started halfway through. Just to give it like yeah, that's good. 3, 4. Sounds like a typewriter almost. Okay. Now we just take it down in volume, make it a bit more subtle. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Cool. A little bit of progress there. I think we do need to turn this into a sampler though. Give it some complexity, and then we can put an LFO on the actual sound itself, and looks like I've lost my synchronization. Let's just try one more thing, which is sorry, getting caught up in the software here. That's what I don't want. I don't want that. Let's just try to do it manually then. Yeah, let's just do it manually. Oops. So what I'm doing now is just duplicating. Yeah, it's gonna be better than trying to synchronize it to the kick. Okay, cool. So what are we doing? I've taken an ice water sample. I've got a sample here of me slushing around ice in a water bottle, and I've tried to loop it. It didn't work because I couldn't get it to sync perfectly because it's such an organic sound. And now I've just decided to sequence it in like that. So we've got that kind of type. It's almost a typewriter sound. What I'm trying to do next is just give it a little bit of punch on in the attack. So I'm gonna just shorten this initial start point over there to like right before. That's it. That's what I'm going for. Just a little bit before there. Okay, now nothing is interfering with anything else. That's good. And now we also want an LFO to head to the pan, and we're going to just turn that up so it's really fast. Do it by note. That's quite cool, but just maybe a bit fast. That's quite cool. I like it. So if you've got headphones on, you'll hear. Good. Okay, great. RP, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Thanks very much. It's very cool to chat to you and hang a bit. And I'll see you in the next stream. Good luck with the episode 2. Ciao for now. I'll be back on Monday, same time. Have a good weekend. Yeah, it actually is time for me to hit the road too, kids. We've made some progress today on this track, which is nice. It's sounding nice and cyberpunky. So let's hang it up for now. I also just want to cut some of the highs off this before I go. Turning the shaper on. Just a little bit of drive on that, give it a little bit of presence, personality, whatever you want to call it. Let's take that down. Okay. So I'm just slowly putting together the pieces for this whole Cyberpunk palette that I'm doing. My goal, as usual, is to write 10 tracks. If you'd like to support my work, you're welcome to sub on YouTube, or you can be a free Patreon member, or you can be a paid Patreon member, up to you. Either way, just check out the streams I'm doing daily, weekdays, 2 p.m. UTC, which is 9 a.m. Eastern. And today has been really cool. Not every day is like this, where I feel like I've take things forward and make some progress. What I'm going to do next week is continue with this track. Let's just get back to a beat part. There's the melody part. Let's just go up 1 or 2 scenes. Yeah. I think this has to come down in volume even more. It's a bit too loud. Cool. Very subtle. That's it, yeah. And I've been also sound designing while we go. I've been sound designing different patches. You can see in the bottom left here, we're currently triggering one called Crayon. I reverse engineered that from a massive, Native Instruments massive patch. And I've done the same with basically all of the sounds in this so far. So I'm taking them from really good high quality sources, and I'm reverse engineering them so that Ableton users without access to Native Instruments and external VSTs can download these packs and just literally open them up and start playing immediately. No missing samples, no missing VSTs. Just out of interest, I'm going to see how this track sounds with the second bass line. So that's called Creek Bank. Yeah, so you could even switch between the two midway through, like just to create like, this is filthy, a little bit of like a nightclub, sort of underworld nightclub scene, like this type of thing. It's a bit boomy on the mid end, but we can just drop that down 3. You get the idea, yeah. And then I also want to take up the kick on this one, which I don't feel is doing enough justice. Instead, in the past, what I would normally just do is like just take up the volume on the kick, but I'm finding like as I get better at this, I'm looking for alternative ways to like give a part presence. And so what I'm going to do in this case, I just had a great idea. Sorry, I just heard something now. I have to take it down. I have to write this down. Okay, yeah, we go to the, so we're in the key of, in D minus we go up to the B. That. This is a nice tension builder. Okay, so let's go. Cool. I'm going to take this down. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all we need. Let this phrase finish off. And then play it back. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could play both of these maybe. Let's just try it again. Start from the top. 3, 4. Two, 3, 4. Okay, I'll work on that, but it's the musical idea, the underpinning idea that is important there. So yeah, we started on that. I think we're going to start with that type of boomy nightclub vibe. So let's try that out. That's it, yeah. Cool, and then at some point we drop into. Actually, we want to drop into this. I'll show you what we drop into is this. I'm just thinking ahead like of arrangement. Yeah. First thing you do is that. You introduce the melody and then, sorry, I just changed scenes. Introduce the melody and then circle back to the bass line. So after we've done the intro, sort of the boomy nightclub vibes, the repetitive vibe, then we drop into this, give it some harmony, give it a sense of things are moving forward. And now after a couple of those, we can, we actually got to go straight into this section here to take it up a level. So that's it, yeah. And then bring back that, cool. Cool. And then drop into. First we do the simple bass and then we do the complex bass. Okay, good. And then duplicate that scene after a bit and we go into the second one. And suddenly the bass picks up in rhythm, so it's dum 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 dum. Cool. That's it. And after a couple of those, we go to that. Cool. I want this to be running the whole way through, this texture. Maybe just from the drop onwards, so where the bass comes back in. And then we could also there's a little bit of. So this is something I've learned from composing music over the years, dudes. This is how you do it. You take what you think is a good idea, right? And you want to give it the love. You want to show it off. You want it to see the light. And you just squash it down, okay? And it sounds weird, but you squash it down so that it doesn't really stick out. It doesn't grab attention. It just becomes something that kind of plays along with everything else nicely. There's no ego involved in that part. It just wants to play nicely with the rest of the track. And what the effect of that is your listener goes from maybe feeling a bit assaulted by like a part that's like sticking out, to like hearing a part that's nice and going, oh, I want to listen more. And you actually capture your listener's attention by subduing, making sure things don't like stick out too much. So, you know, as I listen to more of this music, instrumental and soundtrack music specifically, I'm hearing that there's so much going on. It sounds like just the bass, it sounds like just the texture patch or whatever, but it's actually layers and layers and layers. And so my projects are growing in size, which is a problem because of my CPU, as you can see up in the top right here. My projects are growing in size, which is as it should be. You should have multiple, as many as you like, multiple samples, multiple instruments, multiple effects playing a role. And that's why I've highlighted these ones in pink: bass, harmony, melody, and texture, and drums. These are the 5 roles that I'm assigning to this track, and I can't do anything outside of these roles. That's the rule. And you can break rules and all that, but I want to just ensure that I keep with this set of rules, which is, if you feel like you need something to lie outside of this arrangement, then you're probably trying to show something off that doesn't belong in the track, or needs to be tamed and put into one of these buckets, one of these roles. Okay, philosophy aside, that's it from me. Thank you so much, dudes. I appreciate it. I'll see you again on Monday, 2 p.m. UTC, 9 a.m. Eastern if you're an early morning person in the United States. And then, yeah, these recordings will be online, you know, forever. Do check out the stuff on Patreon and Ko-Fi. I'm putting up stuff quite regularly there. You're welcome to just join as a free member, which means you get an email whenever I release something. And yeah, I'm continuing to be generous with my work. The tracks are all available as Creative Commons downloads, so go ahead and download them and use them in your videos and your games. And yeah, just notify me and credit me, and that's all I'm asking. Alright, dudes, peace out. I'm just going to let this play for a while, and yeah, I'll see you on Monday. Alright, big love. Cheers.